the US on a peace deal that's aimed at ending the war with Russia. The proposal is based on a 28-point plan presented by the US last week, which was worked on during the weekend during talks in Geneva by both American and Ukrainian officials. US President Donald Trump has claimed that on social media that original plan has been fine-tuned with additional inputs from both the sides. He has also directed his special envoy Steve Witkoff to meet the Russian President Vladimir Putin in Moscow at the same time when Secretary of the Army Dan Driscoll meets with the Ukrainians. Moving on, Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent says that there may be as many as 4 meetings between US President Donald Trump and Chinese leader Xi Jinping next year as both sides try to keep the trade truce in place. He has also said that the Trump administration may attend an Asia-Pacific Economic Cooperation meeting in Shenzhen in China in November next year, this in addition to an anticipated state visit to Beijing in April. Next up, as the lookout for the new Fed chair enters its final weeks, White House National Economic Council Director Kevin Hassett is being seen as the front-runner to be the new central bank leader by advisors and allies of Trump. And yet, it is also being considered that Trump is known to make surprise personnel and policy decisions, meaning a nomination is not final until it's made public. U.S. Treasury Secretary Bessent estimates that the president will make an announcement before Christmas. All right, let's keep it with the U.S. And the government has posted a higher $284 billion deficit for October in a report that's delayed and impacted by the recent federal government shutdown and reflecting record tariff revenues that were offset by a shift of some of November's benefit payments into last month's data. Now, the deficit last month was up $27 billion or about 10% from $257 billion deficit posted in the month of October 2024. This was largely due to the shift of some $105 billion worth of November benefit outlays for some military and healthcare programs into October. Next up, let's talk about some macro data. Now, U.S. retail sales grew slower than expected in September as consumers grappled with persistently higher prices and companies facing higher input costs. Now, retail sales, they rose about 0.2% on a month-on-month basis, easing from 0.6% in August and falling short of analyst estimates. Meanwhile, the producer price index that increased seasonally adjusted at 0.3% in September, in line with the consensus estimates. Now, both core and headline PPI had decreased about 0.1% in the month of August. Moving on to the world of tech then, Meta's reported exploration of using Google's TPUs in its data centers triggered a 3% fall in Nvidia stock, reflecting investor worries over potential shifts in AI hardware supply chains and the possibility that major platforms could diversify away from Nvidia systems. The reaction underscored fears that Google's chips could emerge as a viable alternative in environments where cost and energy efficiency are prioritized. Next up, in a major diplomatic push, the India and EU free trade agreement inches closer to reality